Hello and welcome to a happy holidays version of the PRFC fan show. It's actually episode number 30.
It is.
We are so glad to be here, and in the spirit of the holidays, we have gotten each other gifts. Edward, I thought I'd give you your gift first.
Oh, nice. What'd you give me, man? I'm very excited. I didn't think you actually got me something.
Put a lot of thought into this.
Okay. Well, is this oh, there's something in here.
Yeah.
Okay. What the hell is this?
It's chocolate-covered cherries.
This is like stuff that you already just have around your house.
No. I had a whole new box, but I ate some. But I did put a Fall Out Boy PRFC button on it for you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know you like that stuff.
Here's your gift. I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I know you like cameras. I saved up for months. I went to the store. I talked to the guy. I bought you a brand new camera. But yeah, thanks for the chocolate-covered cherries. These are great. Anyways, we have a show to put on, so stay tuned. We have a lot of very exciting stuff. We have Joe Lowry from Phoenix Rising Tactics.
Yeah, we do. And then after that, we have our new annual Christmas character football match, which we think is going to be a blast. So let's hear from Joseph first.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm here with Joseph Lowry. Joseph, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great. Now, you will know Joseph under a different name on Twitter and maybe on YouTube, too. I'm not sure.
Not on YouTube, but on Twitter, yeah.
Okay, and that name is?
At Joe and Cleats is my main Twitter account, and then at Rising Tactics for Phoenix Rising stuff.
And I think it's at Rising Tactics that's really kind of gotten the attention of everybody in the PRFC universe. So how did you get into this? How did you start doing this?
So I started my main analysis handle a couple years ago, and this summer, and really more recently throughout this past semester, I sort of wanted to extend that analysis into Phoenix Rising. They're my home club, like all of you guys. So I thought that was a really good opportunity for me to expand a little bit and analyze the team that I love.
So you've been doing analysis for sports already in the past, and you're expanding it to PRFC?
Correct, yeah. So it's been exclusively soccer, but I'm glad to have the opportunity to pivot a little bit.
Very cool. Now, did you play the sport?
I did, a little bit, not at a super young age, but as I grew up a little bit more, and now, unfortunately, I watch it more than I play it.
Yeah, you know what? That's not too bad. That's the same with me and most of us in this crew, so that works out. You know, it's interesting to me how quickly people bought into your analysis because it was so good. Your insight is incredible. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say today because you are going to be talking about my main man, Kevon Lambert. So, Joseph, why don't you take it away?
Perfect. We're going to be talking a little bit about Kevon Lambert today, and one of the first things that stands out to me about his game is his ability to cover ground defensively and his positioning. In this clip against Louisville in the USL Cup final, Louisville passed the ball around the back. Lambert's out of screen right now. Louisville have possession, they play wide, and they're about to play the ball centrally. They do, and look, Colin Fernandez, the other midfielder, Lambert's 27, Fernandez has his chest facing the screen. Lambert's stuck in a 2v1. Louisville have two offensive players around only him. Lambert sees this and slides over to his left and makes the tackle. Defensive cover. Another look at Kevon Lambert's ability to cover ground defensively is in this Gold Cup game against Mexico in the summer of 2017. Mexico have the ball in the back. They play wide. Lambert's covering number 17. He slides over and makes the tackle. It's not a significant play, but he slides across a lot of ground and can really make up for a lot of his teammates' mistakes or poor positioning. Lambert reading the game as the 6. In this clip against the New York Red Bulls in the Mobile Mini Sun Cup, Phoenix has the ball, they're throwing it in on the left sideline. Ultimately, the Red Bulls force it loose, and the ball bounces around for a few seconds. Lambert, who's out of screen, enters here. Look at the way Kevon Lambert's head is positioned. He sees the entire field in front of him. He's covering Phoenix's back line. He's shielding them from any potential danger. The Red Bulls try to play through the middle into Sean Davis, but Lambert picks out the loose pass and clears the danger. Hips open, pass as well. Another strength in Kevon Lambert's game is his passing. In this clip against the New York Red Bulls, the ball bounces around and it comes out to Lambert. He turns and immediately, look at how his hips are open. He sees the field with his head up and sees Jason Johnson motioning for the ball on the left sideline. He plays it wide. Johnson slightly miscontrols it, and the Red Bulls do win it. But it's that fundamental hip movement that's so key in that moment. Passing under pressure. Lambert is capable of receiving the ball in almost any situation. Against the Red Bulls, a very high-pressing, high-pressure team, Lambert showed that he can turn and play the ball wide out of pressure with relative ease. A slight negative touch, but he plays wide to DeBose, who does miscontrol it. But it's a good sequence, and it shows off Lambert's skill. Game-changing pass. Lambert really does have the instinct for the killer pass. In this sequence, he's higher up the field, pressuring a little bit. Phoenix wins the ball through Lambert. Immediately after he wins it, he picks up his head, sees Chris Cortez out of the corner of his eye, plays a beautiful ball over the top of the defense, and it's a goal. Dropping between center backs. In this clip, Kevon Lambert drops deep between the center backs. He's playing as the deepest midfielder against the Red Bulls. He receives the ball and opens his hips. Now, this is a look that we could see a lot from Phoenix this season if they really are interested in instilling a more possession-based offense. Lambert looks up, has time and space, surveys the field, and plays wide. Immediately, Phoenix have switched the field and have a chance to attack on the right side. Turn. One of the things that makes Kevon Lambert such a well-rounded midfielder in possession is his ability to turn into space and manipulate the space around him. In this sequence against Reno, Phoenix are possessing the ball briefly. Lambert receives from Musa and turns. He immediately eliminates Reno's front line of defense and charges into space in front of him. Dribbling in transition. On national team duty with Jamaica, Kevon Lambert is back defending. He picks up on a loose ball in midfield, beats a defender, and plays wide. It's simple, but it helps switch the play and gets Jamaica out on a counter. Combination, dribbling. This sequence is one of the best examples of Kevon Lambert making an impact in possession. He starts off behind the play, receives the ball, and immediately looks to combine with the right back. Cody Wakasa drops in, Lambert receives the ball, beats the Red Bull center back, and tests the goalkeeper. If Coach Rick Schantz is looking to have his team play more with the ball this season, it's going to be moments like that from Kevon Lambert that make a real impact.
Joseph, that was incredible. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We know we're going to do this more in the future. We are very, very lucky to have him on the show. You are providing a level of insight that I don't think anybody else provides.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I had a blast, and I'm excited to be back again soon.
Good stuff. We'll see him on another episode soon. The past few weeks of football around the globe have been hotter than a cup of hot cocoa by the Yule log. It's been hotter than the time Grandma left the menorah a little too close to the curtains.
Kevin, will you just get to the point?
Fine. You know what? The point is, it's time to put on your coats and caps, folks, and escape the heat, because we are going to the jolliest place on earth, the North Pole, for the first annual Christmas Candy Cane Cup.
That's right, and the skill in this contest was so naughty it was nice. Not to mention the sheer brutal violence. This match made the Krampus look like the Christmas Prince.
Indeed it did. And speaking of matchups that are too good to be true, in the inaugural year we have two classic Christmas characters.
That's right, we have the main man, the jolly old fat elf himself, the man who brings joy to children around the world, the man who gets away with wearing red velour jumpsuits all year long, who's on PETA's top 10 most wanted for reindeer abuse, who's guilty of breaking and entering into millions of homes every year. He sees you when he's sleeping, he knows when you're awake. The man, Chris Santa Claus Kringle.
Whew. Facing the Claus this year is what I thought would be a happy elf from the North Pole. It turns out that they have a huge grudge with Santa. Elves are claiming they have unsafe work conditions, obscenely long work hours, and a pay system that turns out to be nothing more short of indentured servitude. Who would have thought it?
The man's a monster. He holds us in a system that keeps us in debt. Can't escape it. It's like working in a Nike factory except with snow. My hands have been worked raw.
Yeah, that soundbite was a little surprising for me too. I always picture that elves are happy and singing while they're making toys for all the children in the world. I guess that explains some of what happened on the pitch.
You know, indeed it does. And with that, let's go right to the highlights. There is no real home or visiting team in our match, so a coin toss was used to allow the side to choose which goal to defend. Let's take a look.
I'll take that.
Hey, Hey, what's the big idea?
I'm the clause, and I say what goes. Now you're gonna take that side of the field, so ho-ho, go over there before I make you build 100,000 toy soldiers.
I'm gonna get you, Claus.
And with that, the game began.
Ha ha! Hilarious! You suck, Elf. Ha! That was easy. Aw, crap.
And that pretty much wraps up the quality of play in this game. Surprisingly though, many goals were scored.
Many goals is right. There were so many we don't have time to show them all, and some really we can't even air. And at the 34th minute, something of note did happen, and I don't use that term loosely.
Once again, I can honestly say I've never seen anything like this, and I hope to never see it again. Well, maybe like once or twice.
The elf was in possession of the ball, with Santa pressing hard. Just as it looked like Santa would gain possession, the elf let out a yell?
Or shriek? All I know, it was a high-pitched massacre of the ears. The impact on Santa was immediate and devastating.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Get out of my way.
Give me the ball. Pain, over pain, make it stop, make it make it stop. Ow! What the?
I'm not sure how that wasn't a penalty. Assaulting another player's head is an immediate red card. Instead, the referee actually looked like he was enjoying the scene and let play continue.
I kind of got the feeling the referee was on the elf side.
You kind of got the idea? You think he maybe had a tidbit of bias? Or perhaps that maybe he was taking sides? You think that he was just leaning to the elf a little bit?
Exactly.
Santa was shown some mercy at one point when the elf stabbed Santa in the neck with a candy cane.
With the score tied at 24-24, I can see why the elf took such drastic measures. We are in the 89th minute of the game, and you know the Grinch is done with this game, so there would be no stoppage time. The elf could not let Santa score, so he did what he had to do.
Meaning he was justified in stabbing Santa in the neck with a candy cane?
Yes, that is exactly what that means. Santa got a penalty, so this is yet another example of how this referee was pretty fair.
Really? Santa lined up for the shot, and we aren't sure, but it looked like he sprinkled some kind of magic powder on the ball.
What happened next was what I believe is the best penalty kick ever taken.
Except the ball didn't make it into the net.
Oh yeah, there is that, but it was still a pretty great penalty kick.
You do realize the whole point of a penalty kick is to get the ball in the back of the net, right?
Hurry up, you big fat bastard.
You know what? Hey, Elf, you're dead. How about a little Christmas cheer? You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa will kick the crap out of you. Ha ha!
Santa seemed to have knocked the elf into oblivion and then stood over him like a hunter over his kill. Is this how soccer is supposed to work?
Yes, Edward, this is exactly how soccer is supposed to work.
Victory is mine, you stupid elf. Ouch! Oh! Ah, that hurts. Oh, right in the gift bag. Oh, leave me alone. No! Oh!
I bet no one saw that coming. That elf struck hard and true right into Santa's gift bag. I'm positive that Santa's chestnuts felt like they were roasting over an open fire.
Sorry folks, but we can't show what happened in the next 2 or 3 minutes. We'd get shut down by the FCC. Let's just say that Santa's bells won't be jingling for a very long time.
Yeah, the candy cane cup is mine.
Not so fast, Elf. I've got another trick up my sleeve. Bombs away. Oh, oh.
Jingle bell, Santa sucks. I'm gonna win the game. Ha ha ha, you suck, Santa.
Yippee-yi-ki-yo-yay.
Melon, farmer.
Can't stop looking at it. It's both horrifying and oddly satisfying. Why do I feel aroused? It's entrancing. I can't look away. I want to look away, but I can't. It's beautiful. That is one sexy, sexy elf.
Will someone please stop cycling that footage? Jeez. So again, the game ends up in a draw. The elf was very resilient, but got blown up. And there seems to be some kind of rioting going on in the North Pole. And if reports are accurate, Santa's workshop is currently being burnt to the ground.
Viva la France!
Really? Edward, do you have anything protective to say before we go?
I do. I'd like to thank everyone involved, but first of all, I want to say thank you to my producer. I love you, man. And most of all,
You know
I want
what?
to say...
That's enough. You know what? That's all from the first annual Christmas character football match. Next year, we're going to have Mr. Heat Miser himself and Frosty the Snowman. Somehow, I don't see how that could be very competitive, but stay tuned on the PRFC Fan Show Sports Network. Next year, we'll have a great time, and in the meantime, happy holidays. Well, that was a lot of fun.
That really was. I have not ever seen anything like that game before.
And you know what? I hope we really don't ever again.
I hope not either. But you know what I do hope we see more of, which you will, is Joseph's analysis. So thank you. That was very awesome of Joseph to be on the show. There's plenty more of that to come.
We want to wish you all a very happy holiday season. This is the PRFC Fan Show, a fan show by fans for fans. We'll see you next time.